Goes back to the pits. And now we wait for the riders to come out for heat number 8. Still the lineup then for heat number 8. Neil Collins in red. Calvin Tatum, a disappointing first ride for Calvin. He's in blue, gate number 2. Dave Millett, thankfully okay to continue in the British final. He's in white, gate number 3. And John Davis, yellow and black. He's in gate number 4. Riders called in. Last one to settle is Luke Clutch sponsored. John Davis in yellow and black on the outside. The green light's on, the bikes rev, and away they drive from the start. And the first one to show as they go into the first turn is Neil Collins and Calvin Tatum. And Tatum now beginning to put a bit of pressure on that back wheel and drives down the back straight in first place. Neil Collins in red in second, and the battle is for the minor places, white and yellow and black mullet, and John Davis having a rare old tussle. But there's no doubt about the leader, that's Calvin Tatum. Transferred of course to Berwick during the winter months from Coventry, where he spent some successful seasons for about £30,000, and well, he's really doing well for the Border Club in their quest for honours after stepping up to Division 1 of the Sunbite League in 1991. He leads still from Neil Collins second, Dave Millett third, and John Davis fourth. Here we see Dave Millett in a brand new spanking pair of leather sponsored by Satellite Systems in Wallingford. But it's Calvin Tatum they've all got to beat here in heat number 8. He looks over his shoulder, he's a long way clear. Calvin Tatum surely with 3 points now to add to his one in his previous outing. It's Tatum that wins. Second place in red was Neil Collins, and in third place Dave Millett in white. So Calvin Tatum gets 3 points to add to his one in his previous outing. Number 9, and the pace is certainly hotting up. Gary Havelock there, one of the 2 leaders on 6 points. He's in the red helmet colour going into gate number 1. The opponents in this race, John Davis in blue, gate number 2. John failed to score so far. Richard Knight in white, he's on 2 points in gate number 3. And Sean Wilson also on 2 points in yellow-black in gate number 4. That's where they'll up for heat number 9 of the British final, coming from Brandon Stadium in Coventry. Lights rev, the smoke roar, the tapes are finally released, and away they go into action. And the first, yellow and white dice. The white helmet colour of Richard Knight and the yellow and black of Sean Wilson, and also their blue John Davis is in the thick of it. Let's just take a look from the camera on the centre green exactly what happened. This stage Gary Havelock was it was a rider in white and yellow and black that locked together, which was of course Richard Knight and Sean Wilson. John Davis hits the melee. We'll keep our fingers crossed all these 3 riders are okay. It was a nasty looking tumble. There certainly is some fast and furious first turns here at Brandon Stadium. I mean, it's all about qualification from these rounds to get to the big one, the Ullaby Stadium, on August the 31st for that world final. And we keep our fingers crossed that John Davis, who's on the feet, on his back still at the moment. The other riders are, of course, Richard Knight and Sean Wilson. And John looking in some discomfort at the moment. And sadly John was already on no points, and he would have really liked to have got amongst them on this particular outing. You see that Richard Knight is sort of sat up on the track. Richard, who made his debut of course in the World Final at Bradford last season. What a great scrap he had, and there you see Sean Wilson looking a little bit dazed and bruised. And a few words with Eric Bucock, of course the co-England team manager. John Davis being helped back to the pits, and not very nice to see indeed. John Davis going back. We keep our fingers crossed, John, that you're okay. So the referee's decision is all 4 riders back for the restart of heat number 9. Thankfully no injuries, and all 4 riders now back on the track. What we hope will be a safe return to track action. So the lineup again, Gary Havelock is in red, John Davis blue, Richard Knight white, and Sean Wilson yellow black. So Gary Havelock's currently on those 6 point total, 2 unbeaten, and he missed the mayhem of the first turn in the first stage in heat number 9, so what he's got to do now is concentrate that a little bit harder. The other 3 have got their own problems, having hit the deck as they entered that first turn. Havelock there just resting the clutch, waiting for the other 3 riders to settle. All about nerves now as the British final gets underway, well in the thick of things. They all know they've got to get enough points, 7 or 8 at least, to get through to King's Lynn and the next round for the quest for World Championship honours. So the last one in is John Davis. Starting Marshall's happy, the green light's on. They're off. Straight away is Davis leads, and it is a rider in white, Richard Knight and Gary Havelock. Gary Havelock on the inside of Richard Knight, but Knight is there at the moment. Havelock second, yellow and black Sean Wilson third, and John Davis back in fourth place. So is Richard Knight, who has come back to the thick of things with a superb start in heat number 9, who leads. Gary Havelock second, and this could be Gary's first drop point of the British Championship. Havelock second, Sean Wilson third, Richard Knight now driving into the pits. Richard Knight's down, Knight is down, and through go the other three competitors. Gary Havelock comes through now to take the lead. Sean Wilson in yellow and black is second, and John Davis is third with 1 lap to go in a very, very eventful heat number 9. And surely we look at Richard Knight and we have to say, is he going to be a victim of the British final after making such a superb effort in that World final last year? But Gary Havelock comes up, he takes the checker flag, he wins. So Havelock gets the 3 points, and the 2 points for Sean Wilson in second, and 1 point for John Davis third. So there we are, tremendous ride for Gary Havelock. He goes in to the interval stage here at Brandon Stadium, knowing that he's unbeaten on 9 points. Congratulations to Gary Havelock, as he's the winner of heat number 9. There we see Richard Knight just explaining to everybody exactly what went wrong. He lifted and just had to bring that machine down and bail out, and that's what he did. Heat number 10 of this British final, Dave Millett rides in red, Mark Loram is in blue, Jeremy Doncaster white, and Steve Schofield is in yellow and black. Doncaster on 3, Loram on 2, and Millett on 1. Schofield still to score. So a few points up for grabs here. We'll wait and see as the starter marshal calls into line who's going to get the mix up. Green lights on, and the way they drive from the start, and the first to show in the blue helmet colour is Mark Loram. Mark Loram leads. Loram leads from the rider in red, Dave Millett. Steve Schofield in third place, and Jeremy Doncaster fourth. Doncaster now trying to make up on Steve Schofield, and now Doncaster drives underneath Steve Schofield. Has he got the power to come through though? Still Millett holding on to third place, and Doncaster now comes underneath both of them. Doncaster comes underneath both, and we've lost Dave Millett in an untidy heap, and there it was. Did Doncaster take Dave Millett's leg away from him? And Dave Millett knocked for the second time this afternoon going into the fence. There we see Dave Millett walking back to the pits. We have to keep our fingers crossed he's okay. He looks a little bit shaken, but none the worse for wear is Dave Millett. He's battling old sheep farmer from just on the outskirts of Canterbury. They don't come any better than Dave Millett. So, for the restart then of heat number 10, Jeremy Doncaster was the man who come through from that position, but it's all four back for the restart. There Dave Millett with the Screen Sport logo on the leg of his leathers. He's in gate number 1 in red. Mark Loram in blue, gate 2. No exclusions from this race, which is a little bit of a surprise by the referee. Jeremy Doncaster in white, and Steve Schofield in yellow and black. That's the way they line up for the restart of heat number 10. Second time of asking, they drive into the first turn. This time it's Millett who makes the start from gate number 1, so Millett leads. Doncaster now in white, trying the outside line, so Millett leads. Doncaster trying to go around the outside of him. Has he got the pace? He has indeed. Doncaster swoops around the outside, so Millett second, Mark Loram third. And suddenly Steve Schofield tailed off in fourth, and Loram now takes the inside turn on Dave Millett and comes through sweetly. So first to third for Dave Millett, but it's Doncaster that leads. Still second Mark Loram, and now Millett coming under pressure from Steve Schofield. Millett lifts, gets the bike back down on the track. There's the man in second place, Mark Loram. Horse rides for the Kingsland Stars in the Sunbright League. Had a tremendous 1990 season, perhaps didn't get the publicity he deserved. But it's all eyes on Jeremy Doncaster, who's going to get 3 points if he can hold on to the final 2 bends. Doncaster with number 15 on his back. He comes up, he takes the flag. Second place is Mark Loram. Third place is Dave Millett. But it's Jeremy Doncaster who gets the 3 points and moves sweetly on now. He was on 3 before this, so he's now on 6 points and goes into the interval, of course, on 6 points. He was the winner of the Overseas Speedway final here at Brandon Stadium last year.